A hidden darkness in the heart of New York. Welcome back to my channel, dear friends and fellow lovers of the supernatural. If you've ever taken a stroll through Central Park on a quiet evening, surrounded by towering trees and the distant hum of city life, you may have felt something, just for a fleeting moment, that sent a chill down your spine. That inexplicable sense of being watched, the sudden hush that falls over the park as if the very air holds its breath, or the faint whisper carried away by the wind before you can make out its words. While Central Park is one of the most iconic urban green spaces in the world, celebrated for its beauty and tranquility, it also harbors a darker side, one steeped in mystery, tragedy, and haunting legends that stretch back centuries. Beyond its picturesque landscapes and bustling footpaths lies a history filled with unexplained disappearances, eerie encounters, and ghostly apparitions that defy rational explanation. From shadowy figures lurking in the wooded groves to spectral voices echoing through the tunnels beneath the park's many bridges, Central Park has long been a hot spot for paranormal activity. Even those who dismiss the idea of ghosts often find themselves unsettled when walking alone after dark, sensing an unseen presence just beyond the veil of the ordinary. In this video, we'll be diving deep into the chilling stories that surround Central Park, uncovering the haunted past hidden beneath its well-manicured lawns and serene ponds. Whether you're a seasoned believer in the supernatural or simply curious about the mysteries hiding in plain sight, prepare yourself for a journey through one of New York City's most enigmatic locations. So, grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's step into the shadows of Central Park together. The origins of Central Park, a landscape shaped by history and tragedy before it became the sprawling urban oasis known and loved today. Central Park was home to a vastly different landscape, one shaped by both nature and human intervention. Long before European settlers arrived, the area was inhabited by the Lenape people, who lived in harmony with the land for thousands of years. However, with the arrival of colonists in the 17th century, the indigenous population was gradually displaced, and the region underwent significant transformation. By the 19th century, as New York City expanded rapidly, the need for a public green space became increasingly urgent. Overcrowding, disease, and industrial pollution had made life in the city unbearable for many, prompting civic leaders to envision a grand park that would provide respite from the chaos of urban life. Thus, in 1857, the design competition for what would become Central Park was launched, ultimately won by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux with their visionary greensward plan. However, the creation of Central Park was not without controversy and upheaval. Before construction could begin, the land had to be cleared, a process that involved displacing entire communities. One such community was Seneca Village, a thriving neighborhood primarily composed of African American landowners, as well as Irish and German immigrants. Established in the 1820s, Seneca Village was one of the few places in pre-Civil War New York where African Americans owned property, making it a symbol of resilience and self-determination. Yet, in 1857, the city condemned the land under eminent domain to make way for the park, forcing residents to abandon their homes. Archaeological excavations in recent decades have uncovered remnants of the village, including foundations of houses, household items, and even burial sites, serving as a poignant reminder of the lives disrupted in the name of progress. Some believe that the spirits of those displaced still linger in the park, unable to move on from the injustice they suffered. Beyond the displacement of Seneca Village, the construction of Central Park itself was a massive undertaking that involved reshaping the natural topography. Rocky outcrops were blasted away, marshes were drained, and new soil was imported to create the rolling hills and meadows that now define the park's landscape. Thousands of workers labored tirelessly, enduring harsh conditions and dangerous machinery. Tragically, some lost their lives during the park's development, and local legends suggest that their restless souls remain among the trees and pathways, forever bound to the place they helped build. As the park took shape, it quickly became a beloved destination for New Yorkers seeking escape from the city's relentless pace. Its winding paths, ornate bridges, and secluded groves provided a perfect backdrop for romantic strolls, family gatherings, and quiet reflection. But beneath its idyllic surface, darker stories began to emerge. From the very beginning, There were whispers of strange occurrences, unusual sightings, unsettling feelings, and inexplicable events that hinted at something more than mere coincidence. Whether these tales stemmed from the residual energy of those displaced, the lingering sorrow of lost lives, or something far more mysterious, one thing remains certain. Central Park is more than just a beautiful retreat, it is a place where history, tragedy, and the unknown intertwine. The displacement of Seneca Village. Echoes of injustice in the park. The displacement of Seneca Village stands as one of the most tragic and overlooked chapters in the history of Central Park. Before the park's creation, the area between 81st and 89th Streets on the west side of Manhattan was home to a vibrant and diverse community, primarily consisting of African American landowners, along with Irish and German immigrants. Seneca Village thrived from the 1820s until its forced dissolution in 1857, offering its residents a rare opportunity for stability and ownership in a time when racial segregation and economic inequality were rampant throughout New York City. Despite its modest size, the community boasted approximately 270 residents, 3 churches, a school, and several small businesses, making it a testament to resilience and self-determination in the face of adversity. The turning point came in 1853, when the city announced plans to construct a large public park, an ambitious project that would transform the landscape of Manhattan. Though initially proposed to occupy a smaller area in the northern part of the city, political maneuvering and pressure from wealthy elites led to the decision to claim a larger expanse of land, including Seneca Village. Under the legal doctrine of eminent domain, the city seized the land, offering compensation to property owners, though many felt the payments were insufficient given the value of their homes and the emotional toll of displacement. Forced to relocate, the residents of Seneca Village scattered across the city, their once thriving community effectively erased from the map. For decades, the story of Seneca Village faded into obscurity, overshadowed by the grandeur of Central Park itself. However, in recent years, historians and archaeologists have worked tirelessly to recover its legacy. Excavations conducted in the late 20th and early 21st centuries uncovered remnants of the village, including foundation stones, household artifacts, and even personal items such as buttons, ceramics, and religious medallions. Perhaps most poignantly, researchers discovered burial grounds belonging to the All Angels Church, a predominantly African American congregation that once stood at the heart of the community. These findings have provided invaluable insight into the daily lives of Seneca Village's residents, but they have also fueled speculation about the spiritual residue left behind. Some locals and paranormal investigators believe that the spirits of those displaced still haunt the park, particularly in the areas where Seneca Village once stood. Visitors have reported strange sensations in the vicinity near the West 85th Street entrance, describing a feeling of unease, sudden drops in temperature, and whispered voices that seemed to echo from the past. Others claim to see faint silhouettes of figures standing among the trees, vanishing when approached. While skeptics attribute these experiences to psychological suggestion and the power of historical awareness, believers argue that the pain and injustice endured by Seneca Village's residents have left an indelible mark on the land, one that refuses to be forgotten. The haunted history of Central Park. Ghost stories and supernatural sightings. Central Park's reputation as a hub of paranormal activity is bolstered by a wealth of ghost stories and supernatural sightings that have captivated the imaginations of locals and visitors alike. These tales weave a rich tapestry of the park's haunted history, each narrative adding to the mystique that envelopes this urban sanctuary. From the chilling accounts of spectral figures to the eerie experiences shared by those who have ventured into the depths of the park after dark, the lore surrounding Central Park continues to thrive. One of the most famous stories involves the Lady of Strawberry Fields. Named after the Beatles' tribute to John Lennon, Strawberry Fields is a serene section of Central Park designated for peace and reflection. Locals speak of a woman dressed in white who wanders the area, her figure half shrouded in mist, especially around dusk. Witnesses describe her as ethereal and mournful, often seen sitting on a bench, staring blankly into the distance. According to legend, she is the spirit of a woman who tragically took her own life after losing her child in a nearby accident. Those who have encountered her report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness in her presence, as if they are momentarily sharing in her grief. Some even claim that the air grows colder when she appears, leaving them with chills that linger long after she disappears into the foliage. Another haunting tale centers around the Bridge of Death, officially known as the Bow Bridge. This elegant cast iron structure arches gracefully over the park's waterway, providing breathtaking views of the skyline. However, it is also associated with numerous tragic incidents, including suicides and accidents, giving rise to rumors of a malevolent presence lingering in the shadows. Visitors have reported hearing cries for help or the sound of footsteps echoing across the bridge late at night, only to find no one present. Some say that if you stand on the bridge at midnight, you might catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure looking down at the water below, a reminder of the despair that haunts the spot. In the heart of Central Park lies the Conservatory Water, a tranquil pond known for its model boat sailing activities. Here, another ghost story unfolds, the tale of the Phantom Sailor. According to local lore, a sailor drowned in the pond while attempting to rescue his model boat during a fierce storm in the early 20th century. Since then, witnesses have claimed to see a ghostly figure resembling a sailor wandering the banks of Conservatory Water, clutching a model ship tightly in his hands. Many have described a sense of unease when encountering him, feeling as though he is searching for something, or someone, that he lost long ago. The North Woods, located in the northern section of the park, is another hotspot for paranormal activity. This densely wooded area, with its winding paths and hidden glades, feels like a world apart from the bustling city. It is said to be haunted by the spirits of soldiers who perished during the Civil War. Local legends tell of encounters with spectral figures clad in old military uniforms, wandering silently among the trees. Visitors have reported hearing distant drumbeats and the sounds of marching feet, evoking images of battles long past. Some even claim to have seen the flickering light of campfires deep within the woods, only for it to vanish when they approach. Additionally, the Belvedere Castle, a whimsical structure perched atop Vista Rock, adds its own layer of intrigue to the park's haunted narrative. Built in the 19th century, the castle serves as a weather station and museum, but it is also rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a former caretaker who passed away in the building. Staff members have recounted instances of doors slamming shut on their own, sudden temperature drops, and the unmistakable sensation of being watched while working late at night. The castle's eerie atmosphere, coupled with its historical significance, makes it a focal point for those intrigued by the supernatural. Finally, the Great Lawn, once a reservoir and now a popular gathering spot for picnics and concerts, has its own share of ghostly tales. During the transformation of the Croton Reservoir into the Great Lawn in the 1930s, workers reportedly unearthed skeletal remains thought to belong to individuals buried during the colonial era. Since then, visitors have spoken of strange occurrences, objects moving on their own, disembodied voices calling out in the night, and the feeling of being followed by an unseen presence. The juxtaposition of lively gatherings against the backdrop of this haunted history creates an atmosphere ripe for the paranormal. These ghost stories and supernatural sightings contribute significantly to Central Park's reputation as a haunted the Lady of Strawberry Fields. A tragic spirit lingers among the many spirits said to haunt the serene paths of Central Park. None are as melancholic or frequently encountered as the Lady of Strawberry Fields. Named after the Beatles' memorial tribute to John Lennon, this peaceful corner of the park is a place of reflection and remembrance, yet for some, it is also a site of profound sorrow. Visitors and locals alike have long whispered about a woman in white who lingers near the mosaic. Tile, her presence both ethereal and deeply unsettling. According to legend, the Lady of Strawberry Fields was once a grieving mother who lost her child in a tragic accident near the park. Distraught and unable to cope with her loss, she is said to have taken her own life, choosing Strawberry Fields as her final resting place. Since then, her spirit has remained tethered to the spot, endlessly searching for the child she never found again. Witnesses describe seeing her standing motionless among the trees, her pale dress glowing faintly in the moonlight, her face obscured by a veil of shimmering mist. Some claim she sits quietly on a bench, rocking gently as if cradling an invisible infant, while others swear they have heard her sobbing softly in the dead of night. Those who have encountered the Lady of Strawberry Fields often leave with a lingering sense of unease, as if they have briefly stepped into her sorrow. Some report sudden drops in temperature when passing through the area, despite otherwise mild weather. Others recount feeling an overwhelming wave of sadness wash over them without explanation, as if they were momentarily sharing in the spirit's grief. There are even accounts of photographs taken in strawberry fields displaying strange anomalies, faint figures appearing in the background where no one stood, or ghostly outlines emerging in the fog. While skeptics attribute these experiences to the power of suggestion, given the park's association with John Lennon's death and the emotionally charged nature of the memorial, believers insist that the Lady of Strawberry Fields is very real, a soul forever bound to the place where she sought solace in her darkest hour. The Bridge of Death, a haunting legacy of despair standing elegantly over the waters of Central Park's lake. The Bow Bridge is one of the park's most photographed landmarks, drawing visitors with its intricate ironwork and breathtaking views of the city skyline. However, beneath its picturesque exterior lies a grim history that has contributed to its reputation as one of the park's most haunted locations. Known colloquially as the Bridge of Death, this arch structure has been linked to numerous tragic incidents, including suicides and drownings, making it a focal point for those who believe in the lingering presence of tormented souls. Local legends tell of ghostly figures appearing on the bridge in the dead of night, their forms barely distinguishable against the dim glow of the streetlights. Witnesses have reported seeing a man in old-fashioned attire standing at the edge, staring into the water, as if contemplating something unspeakable. Others claim to hear the sound of footsteps pacing back and forth across the metal grating, only to find no one present upon investigation. Some have even described fleeting glimpses of a woman in white, reminiscent of other tragic female spirits said to haunt the park, her silhouette outlined against the moonlit sky before vanishing into thin air. Beyond individual sightings, there are reports of more unsettling experiences tied to the bridge. On multiple occasions, visitors have claimed to hear desperate cries for help echoing from the lake below, only to find no sign of distress upon peering over the railing. Some have reported feeling an inexplicable pull toward the water, as if an unseen force were attempting to draw them in. Others have experienced sudden dizziness or nausea while standing on the bridge, symptoms that dissipate only after stepping away. These accounts fuel speculation that the bridge serves as a nexus for restless spirits, particularly those who met untimely ends in the cold waters below. Whether these phenomena stem from the collective memory of the tragedies that have unfolded here or something more inexplicable, one thing remains certain: the Bow Bridge is more than just an architectural marvel. It is a place where history and the supernatural intertwine, leaving an indelible mark on all who dare to cross it after dark. The Phantom Sailor of Conservatory Water, a ghostly presence on the pond nestled within the eastern reaches of Central Park. Conservatory Water is a tranquil pond known for its miniature sailboat races, where children gather on sunny days to set their model ships afloat. Yet beneath the surface of this seemingly serene setting lies a haunting legend, one that speaks of a phantom sailor whose restless spirit is said to linger along the water's edge, forever searching for something lost. According to local lore, the phantom sailor was once a man who spent countless hours tending to his meticulously crafted model boats, enjoying the quiet companionship of the pond's reflective surface. One fateful day, a sudden storm rolled in, catching him off guard as he attempted to retrieve his favorite vessel from the water. As lightning illuminated the sky, a powerful gust of wind capsized his rowboat, sending him plunging into the icy depths. His body was never recovered, and since then, his spirit has allegedly remained trapped between worlds, drawn inexorably to the very pond where his life met its tragic end. Visitors to Conservatory Water have reported odd occurrences that hint at the sailor's lingering presence. Some claim to have seen a shadowy figure standing near the water's edge, clad in old-time naval garb, clutching a model ship tightly in his hands. Others describe seeing ripples on the pond's surface despite the absence of wind or movement, as if something unseen were disturbing the water from below. Parents bringing their children to race their boats have recounted moments of unease, describing how their models suddenly veer off course or sink without explanation, as if guided by an unseen force. The haunting of North Woods, spirits of the fallen deep within the northernmost reaches of Central Park lies North Woods, a dense, secluded expanse of winding trails, rocky outcroppings, and thickets that evoke the feel of a true wilderness rather than an urban park. Unlike the manicured lawns and bustling pedestrian paths that characterize much of Central Park, Northwoods retains a sense of ancient mystery, its shaded glades and rustling leaves carrying whispers of the past. This remote section of the park has long been associated with paranormal activity, particularly the lingering spirits of fallen Civil War soldiers. During the mid-19th century, New York played a crucial role in the American Civil War, supplying troops and resources to the Union cause. Although the Battle of Gettysburg occurred nearly 200 miles away, local legends suggest that the echoes of war never truly left the city. It is believed that wounded soldiers were brought to makeshift hospitals near the park, and some accounts claim that those who succumbed to their injuries were buried in unmarked graves throughout the North Woods. Over time, these tragic deaths gave rise to rumors of spectral figures roaming the forested terrain, clad in tattered uniforms and bearing expressions of sorrow and confusion. Visitors who have wandered the less traveled paths of North Woods have reported strange occurrences that lend credence to these legends. Some claim to have heard the distant sound of marching boots crunching over fallen leaves, only to look up and find no one in sight. Others have described the distinct scent of gunpowder lingering in the air without any discernible source, while a few have reported seeing flickering lights deep within the woods, lights that vanish the moment they attempt to investigate further. The most chilling accounts come from those who say they have seen shadowy figures standing among the trees, their faces obscured by mist, watching silently before dissolving into nothingness. Though skeptics attribute these experiences to the power of suggestion, given the historical context of the Civil War and the eerie atmosphere of North Woods, many who have visited the area insist that something lingers within its depths. Whether it is the residual energy of those who fought and died, or something else entirely, the North Woods remain one of Central Park's most enigmatic and unnerving locations, where the past refuses to be forgotten. The spooky tales of Belvedere Castle, a home for the unseen perched atop Vista Rock, the highest elevation in Central Park. Belvedere Castle stands as a whimsical yet imposing structure that blends seamlessly into the park's natural landscape. Designed by architect Calvert Vaux, the castle was constructed in 1869 and served originally as a shelter for park visitors, later transforming into a weather station and museum. However, beyond its architectural charm and historical significance, the castle has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted spots in Central Park. Numerous staff members and visitors have reported eerie experiences that add to its mystique, making it a focal point for those drawn to the supernatural. One of the most frequent claims involves the ghost of a former caretaker named George D. Hill. According to local lore, Hill was responsible for maintaining the castle and its grounds during the early 20th century. After his death, staff members began experiencing strange occurrences. Doors would slam shut unexpectedly, and lights would flicker ominously in the dead of night. Some employees have described feeling an unsettling presence while working late, as if they were being watched by an unseen entity. Reports of objects mysteriously moving or disappearing altogether have only added to the belief that George's spirit remains vigilant, perhaps still overseeing the care of the castle he so passionately maintained. In addition to the ghostly caretaker, visitors have recounted encounters with phantom figures drifting through the castle's corridors. Many have reported seeing a shadowy outline of a person standing near the windows, looking out over the park as if lost in thought. These apparitions often vanish when approached, leaving behind only a lingering chill and an uneasy feeling in the pit of one's stomach. Some guests have even captured what appear to be orbs of light or faint silhouettes in photographs taken inside the castle, further fueling speculation about its haunted nature. The Great Lawn, a buried past awakens stretching across the heart of Central Park. The Great Lawn is one of the park's most recognizable features, offering a vast expanse of open grass bordered by majestic elms. Today, it serves as a gathering place for picnickers, sunbathers, and concertgoers, but beneath its verdant surface lies a history that many believe has left an indelible mark on the land, and possibly its inhabitants. Originally the site of the Croton Reservoir, a massive water-holding basin built in the early 19th century, the Great Lawn occupies land that was once a repository for the city's drinking water before the reservoir was decommissioned and transformed into the lawn we know today. However, construction crews uncovered something far older when they began work on the transformation in the 1930s. Human remains dating back to the colonial era. Workers digging to reshape the reservoir into a recreational space reportedly unearthed skeletal remains believed to belong to individuals buried during the 18th century, long before Central Park existed. Some speculate that the land had once been a potter's field, a burial ground for the poor and unidentified, while others believe it may have been used for interments during outbreaks of disease. Regardless of the exact origins, the discovery of these remains sparked local legends that the spirits of those buried beneath the Great Lawn never truly left. Since then, visitors and parkgoers have reported strange and unsettling occurrences that suggest the past has not been fully laid to rest. One of the most frequently recounted experiences involves unexplained movements of personal belongings. Picnic blankets left momentarily unattended have been found folded neatly or moved entirely, despite no apparent interference. Concert attendees have reported seeing chairs and equipment shift positions overnight, sometimes arranged in deliberate patterns that defy logic. More disturbingly, some have described the sensation of being watched while relaxing on the lawn, accompanied by an inexplicable chill that settles over them without warning. Others have claimed to hear distant voices calling their names or whispers carried on the wind, only to turn and find no one nearby. The enduring mystery of Central Park's haunted legacy. As we bring our exploration of Central Park's haunted history to a close, it becomes clear that this iconic urban oasis is far more than just a place of leisure and recreation. Beneath its scenic landscapes and bustling footpaths lies a deeply entangled web of history, tragedy, and supernatural legend, one that continues to captivate the imaginations of those who walk its trails. From the tragic echoes of Seneca Village to the spectral figures reported in the North Woods, the park serves as a living testament to the past, where the boundaries between history and the unknown blur. What sets Central Park apart from other allegedly haunted locations is its unique ability to weave together multiple layers of legend, each contributing to its overall mystique. The Lady of Strawberry Fields, the Phantom Sailor of Conservatory Water, and the tormented spirits of the Bridge of Death are just a few examples of the park's many ghostly tales. Each story, whether rooted in documented history or passed down through generations of storytellers, adds to the park's reputation as a place where the past refuses to be forgotten. Yet, beyond the eerie encounters and whispered legends, there is something profoundly human about the way people engage with these stories. Whether one believes in the supernatural or simply appreciates the thrill of a well-told ghost story, Central Park offers a space where history, emotion, and mystery converge. It reminds us that even in the heart of a modern metropolis, there are still places where the unknown lingers, waiting to be discovered. And so, the next time you find yourself strolling through the park, take a moment to listen closely to the rustling leaves, the distant echoes of footsteps, and the whispers on the wind. You may just find yourself encountering the past in ways you never expected.